Namaste, beloved ones, and welcome to Soul Mirrors Be Amazed. I know that every week I am amazed and have the joy of being here with you. And it is an extraordinary joy to be with you this evening. Here we are. It's wild when you think about it that we are at November 7th, 2019. There is this surrealness around where we are in this extraordinary co-creative dive around this universe. And as we dive into this evening, my heart is so expanded because when we reach those rare moments where the in-breath and the out-breath become a single breath, we begin to co-create with so much ease and so much manifest abundance that the mind relaxes even more because the soul comes forward effortlessly. And I know that this moment in November right now is kind of a different moment than we've had in quite a long time. And I do invite all of you, if you have not yet checked out the video that Shri and I put out for this month, November, please go to where, if you're watching us, you could be watching us right now at YouTube at Official Shri and Kira, and check it out, because this November moment is very much during this retrograde period an opportunity for all of us to give ourselves the gift of remembrance. And we're starting to move into that right now. And one of the things that I've noticed is that in this moment, and I want to just honor today in particular. Today at Tosa Blue Mountain was one of those spectacular days where it's like all of these amazing beings of light came together and said yes to their co-creative magnificence. And I want to give a shout out to Silvana and Patrick, and to our beautiful Bria Rose, and also over to Adriana and Alessandro. There is a moment when we can accelerate our ascension. And many of you know that often I have heard saying, together we are better, because it's true. When we give ourselves the gift of sincerely relaxing the ego within and celebrating the highest of each being that is on the planet, then we mirror for each other the illuminated presence of our ascended self. And the planet is inviting us to do that right now. I recognize that to illuminate our creative nature often means we need to feel safe first. And to ascend, and especially to accelerate in our ascension during intense times, takes a self-dedication and a courage. And I know if you're here connecting with this show, that you have that kind of courage. And so I just want to say welcome. Welcome to all of you over at tfrlive.com. Welcome to Oneness Talk Radio, YouTube, Facebook, all of our affiliates, including iHeartRadio. Thank you for being with this show right now. And I also want to share with all of you, I see that the phone lines are already filling up. 517-208-1500. You can call in, get into the queue. Again, that's 517-208-1500. And I know that both my beautiful, stunning co-host, who I'm going to introduce in a moment, Alexis Cohen, and I would be honored to chat with you, hear your comments, of course, receive your mini soul readings, whatever your heart would be calling to share. So as we dive into this moment that's before us right now, what's your tribe talking about? How has your week been? As I've reflected upon this past week, and it was a very profound moment of introduction for this beautiful Mercury retrograde, let us not forget that we're building up into this full moon, right? So the 12th is right upon us. We are 5 days away. And that's why this remembrance energy is growing. And this full moon of November 12th will give anyone who wants the opportunity to say yes to the miracle they've been trying to create, to stand in their mastery and to claim it, to vision it, to move forward with it. And this is where the illumination of our creativity comes in, is it not? When we have that beautiful full moon, it illuminates us. It brings us into this presence. And how often are we just captivated by its beauty? And so as the full moon, and equally the new moon at the end of the month, all of the moon cycles this month are really very, very unusually, let's just say, profound. In a month where we don't have any big eclipses or anything else, no blood moons, yet it's Gaia herself speaking to the divine feminine. and inviting us all to find the goddess within, whatever our gender is, it's irregardless of that. May we each discover the feminine within this month and carry that presence forward, empowered and free to illuminate the extraordinary, limitless essence within and divinely call forward our co-creative nature. Now, I want you guys to take in a deep breath because I know you're feeling that. And that's why I'm curious what your tribe's been feeling this week, because I know we've certainly been feeling this. And if I was to share with you all the miracles that went on here at Tosa Blue Mountain this week, it would be a show. And maybe we'll do a show about that at some point. However, I want to share the miracle of Alexis Cohen, my amazingly beautiful co-host. This is a woman who I am so blessed to know. And I was so honored when she approached me to be part of her Artist Ascension masterclass, because as you guys know, I am an artist at heart, right? That's all you come to Tosa Blue Mountain, there's art everywhere. I paint everything, and we're bringing artist collectives in now to start doing murals around here. And I firmly believe in the power of our co-creative presence. And so when I had the opportunity to first just be with Alexis, there was nothing she needed to say because it was so evident. And my heart immediately was like, before you ask me, it's a yes, because I just want to support you, because what you're doing is so incredible and so important and so really needed. It just this opportunity to dive into the truth of who we are through our own divine creative nature. And then when she shared with me her timing on this, I was like, okay, you have to come on Soul Mirrors. That's it. You have to be on the show, because this is that moment of divine remembrance. Remember that here we are. And as we're moving through the energy of November, moving in from this, remember, we're all respect, and we're talking about respect as reverence. And so that's that first moment of November that we're all in right now. And again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, please go watch our video, the official November energy forecast over at Official Shri and Kira at YouTube. And so as we're moving from this respect, that is a choice, because remember, we are also in a choice month. By the end of this month, everybody's going to be making some amazing choices. If we stay in our ascended presence, that respect becomes reverence. It becomes reverence for ourselves. It becomes a moment of trusting and loving ourselves enough to flourish, to say, why would I not be this? Why was I hiding? And this is something Shri and I have been inviting you all month to really pay attention to. When was it okay for you to think it was okay not to be comfortable in your own skin, right? When did you start hiding from yourself? And the gift of igniting our inner artist, our co-creative capacity, is that's when we say yes to our ascended beingness. Now, Alexis is also one of those other magnificent women that has helped over 300 beautiful souls come into the planet as a birthing doula, and is also a master of several techniques that she has worked with in her coaching practice that really assist people who are ready to just take it outside the box. She's the woman to talk to. And so I want to get this beautiful, extraordinary woman in on this conversation. So let's go ahead and invite Alexis in, because I could just sit here and brag on her all day long. And hey, here we are. Hey.
Hello. Thank you.
Namaste.
Yes. Namaste. Thank you so much for inviting me here to be with you and your beautiful tribe.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, it's my honor. And, as I was sharing, when I first had the blessing of connecting with your heart around what you're doing, there was just such a deep recognition of the sincerity, love, and presence that exists inside of you that I could only say yes to the gift of what you're co-creating. So I thank you for what you're bringing to the planet. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. When I think the first time we looked at each other, I think I teared up, because it was that recognition, that remembrance of soul sister.
Exactly. No, it was very mutual. I remember that. And in that moment, I was like, oh, this is done. It was just so beautiful. And I know all of you are joining in going, right? Like, we know, we feel this. So Alexis, I just, I want to dive into it, because I mean, right now, in my heart, I don't know that the call has ever been greater to illuminate our co-creative nature than right now. And I know that in the tribe that I'm blessed to communicate with on a fairly regular basis, we're all really focusing on our multidimensional nature and staying into the illuminated presence of this moment. Yet we're very consciously aware of what's happening outside of that. I mean, how's your tribe? What's going on in your tribe's experience?
Yeah, I mean, I think very similar. I think what's happening in my community is, this activation of like, okay, it's time to move forward, really step into our sacred creative work. And the space that we're in now is like, oh my gosh, everything is coming undone. Like being in autumn, and being in the cocoon where it's just like the caterpillar is kind of turning into mush. It's like everything is like coming apart. And it was like, wait a second, I thought I had this new direction. And it's like, wait, you do. We're just coming apart. We're taking apart everything that is no longer working. And it can feel a little unnerving. So community is so important while we're coming undone.
I'm loving that because that is so true. We really are. And it's how we come undone and how we reassemble that I think is why we're at this critical mass moment. And I'm loving that you're diving into this, because this is exactly what's happening, is that we are all and have chosen to be here for this party, right? So we're here at this party right now. And as we are bringing this together, what those of us who are in the ascension process are aware of is that the more we can stay and accept, because sometimes the brain wants to go like, yeah, right. But the more we can accept that we really are anchored in these different states, in these multidimensional experiences, quite frankly, the easier it's getting. And I mean, at least I'm experiencing that. Are you noticing that at all?
Yeah, like when I connect to my multidimensional expansive self, that part of me is like, oh yeah, look at that part of you totally is coming undone, is feeling a little scared, is going back and forth. Yeah, totally. That's what happens. So connecting to that multidimensional expansive self makes it so much easier. Absolutely.
Agreed. And I know those of you that have been following the work Sri and I do for a while know that we've been talking about this, the third, fifth, seventh, ninth dimension, about this, the witness. And one of the things that I've been noticing is that the more that we anchor in the fifth dimension, I find that our creativity, like that's like when I love how you're doing like the artist ascension masterclass, because what I notice is that when I'm anchored fully in those dimensions, that the greatest creative expressions come out, and it also helps remind you of that in those moments when maybe you think you're not there anymore, or you're worried you might never get back, Have you noticed, I mean, how do you interpret and work with that?
I mean, I agree. Like when I'm really tapped into those multidimensional realities, the artwork that comes through is, the way I see it is just they're vehicles for this transformational energy that's coming through, these higher frequencies. And, what I notice is, as I've been creating in this way in the last few years, is that when I'm in that space of creating from that multidimensional reality, it fills me up. It's almost like being filled up with the muse, and I have all the energy in the world to create what it is that I'm being called for to create. And when the project is complete, I feel like the muse kind of retreats, and it's almost like this resting time, like as the channel, it's time to rest, but it is exhilarating when the muse calls and you say yes, and it's like completely filled up with the muse and ready to go.
Yeah, it is. And I find that it's also one of those moments where I find that it's extraordinarily simple in that moment to really be conscious of the multidimensional experience, because you're aware of yourself in whatever modality. I do a lot of painting. So you're aware of yourself in the painting, but you're aware of the painter. And then you're aware of the consciousness that's guiding the painter. And then I find it even much easier. It's almost like a great way to practice multidimensional anchorship, because you lift into that ninth dimensional space where the transcendent energy then comes back in through all those layers.
Yeah.
And you wind up creating something that is so far outside of the mind that it takes your own breath away and gives us that opportunity to literally see the truth of who we are. I mean, I think it's one of the most beautiful ways we can do that. And if ever that moment was on the planet, it's this month. And I think that the universe is speaking through you with your timing. I really do.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. And that the process that you were just talking about, I mean, I really want to honor you as like this massive creative channel that is able to get out of the way and work with spirit on that level. And, you know, I think that this is what Artist Ascension is like really listening to that there's a calling, there's a body of work, a new body of work that's almost like pushing up from the inside. And it's like, oh my gosh, I don't know what this is, but I have got to do this. And it might be like a big flash of a vision. Like for me, the new thing is like, I'm being called to sing on stages, and singing is something I get to really heal around. But it's like, it's just saying yes and stepping in and getting out of the way for spirit to work through you, you're being called for it as a bigger channel to anchor light on the planet through artwork. Sacred bodies of work.
How beautiful. So let's talk about Alexis. So, I mean, have you always been amazing? I mean, have you always been on the ascension path? I mean, how did this, because I know there's people listening right now going, okay, this woman has got it going on. And so have you always been on the ascension path? I mean, how did your journey take its twist and turn?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, when I think about have I always been on the ascension path, I think maybe in retrospect, I could say, oh yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I think my earliest memory of where I think, yes, possibly, is I have this very vivid memory of being about 7 or 8 years old and being in my room and it landing that I was like, it was like this feeling like, oh my gosh, I did it. I made it. Like I'm here. I'm Alexis. I did it. I landed in the right body. Okay, we're good. So and then another piece of contemplate. I remember being little and contemplating infinity, like trying to hit the edge of infinity and knowing there has got to be an end to, like, I would just like try to look for it as a kid. So, yeah, I'm just a dreamer. And there are these different points along the way where I had some really massive spiritual openings. One of the biggest was 2000, where it was very, very intense, where, you know, and we're talking about having a tribe too, at that time, not having a tribe and feeling, I think we talked about this a little bit, like feeling like I was going crazy because it was just this massive spiritual opening where I was hearing guides, angels, like it was just coming in very, very strongly. And I didn't know what to do with it. And so I shut it down. And really went tried to go as mainstream as I possibly could go. It didn't last very long. But
was it more chaotic during that time? Just out of curiosity. So during that mainstream time, was that, I was just curious, how did that kind of sandwich, you said it wasn't very long, but how did that sandwich in there?
Yeah, it wasn't very long. Yes, it was the way I chose to deal with it. I was like, oh yes, I will be with a man who's very mainstream, and I'll just try to like try to just get into this box and be like super normal. I would say it was more of a feeling of chaotic and just being very down and lonely, just feeling very, very lonely. Because I was not connecting with myself. And what got me out of it was actually, strangely, 9/11. And I didn't know that it happened. And I just woke up. I'm like, I can't go to work today. And then I was home and I saw on television what was going on. And I was like, oh my God. And I went to the art store. I'm like, I need to paint. And I just painted. I'm like, this is what I'm meant to do.
Wow.
And that man and I, we broke up about a month later because I knew I needed to go back in the city and be an artist. Like that, I was being called forward again in that way. And so little moments like that.
Well, I'd say that was a big moment. I wouldn't say that was a little moment. That sounds like, I do think that it's powerful to recognize that even in the midst of a 911
Yeah.
or any type of 911, because there are many 911s that have happened around the world.
Yeah.
There is always another aspect to the energy. And I am not in any way condoning what happens. I'm just sharing that through that moment, how many other people found their paint, whether it was,
Totally.
you know what I'm saying, in whatever way. And I think that's a really important thing to pay attention to, is how that comes together. Because we're never, I love how you opened up with, well, in hindsight, it's probably my whole life, and I would suspect that most people eventually in hindsight can go, when I really pay attention to all the markers, for myself, I know in my life, the only time I had a real sense of inner peace was when I stopped pretending who I really was.
Yeah.
And there were so many times because, from an early childhood being shut down and then shut down again and again. But it's when you finally step up and say, this is really who I am. And to be able to transcend that in a world that wants you to conform to one way of being takes courage and bravery.
Absolutely.
Right. So obviously you had the courage and bravery. And I really do find it inspiring that was one of those moments for you. I really do. So, I'm looking over here at the call board, and I want to go ahead and start bringing in some of these amazing people that are holding on. And if you want to jump into the call board, 517-208-1500. So we good with that, Alexis? Should we say hi to some people?
Let's do it.
All right. All right. Well, I'm just going to go right here at the very top. We're going over to Thailand. Hey, Thailand. Namaste.
Namaste from Thailand. How are you?
Hi, Angel.
Hello.
Hey, sweetheart. How are you?
I'm really well, and I'm so happy I'm going to see you soon.
We will be together in Bhutan in what, like 15 days. It's going to, it's so close. I can't stand it. I know. Beautiful. It is an honor and a blessing.
Oh, for me too. In 1993, when I was in the middle of a dance with cancer, I went to Tibet, and I was bestowed the name by a very high Lama of Kinla, as you know. When I led my group to Bhutan in September with the high priest of Bali, the name fell by the wayside. And all that has been for those 27 years, November 15th, I celebrate 27 years cancer-free and 11 years complete with PAN the same day. All that was has died unto itself, and I find myself in an amazing moment of being at 0 point.
Oh, beautiful.
And I feel I could open my arms to you right now and allow you to paint, as you're painting at your beautiful Tosa, a whole new storyline, not story, but storyline on my palette. So with those words, I humbly request a soul reading, a soul moment, a mini soul reading. Thank you.
Well, first of all, thank you for taking my breath away. I'm really just sitting here trying to fill up with breath. And yeah, Angel, it's interesting. Of course, the Nagas come right in around you, but you're on them. It's like they're calling you the rider of the Naga rider is here and will carry you to that which you have been seeking. And that's all they keep showing me. And it's this beautiful, like crystalline valley, and there's a lot of gold. And it's funny, you're not riding them so much as you are, it's like you're out with them. It's like there's this sense of melting into the one experience of all that is. And then I'm watching this dissolution of that. And then I'm watching it come back together. And as it comes back together, you're standing up. There's 5. You're standing up and your arms are up. And that's all they're letting me see. And they're saying that you already know this journey because it has begun. And wow, Alexis, I don't know, were you sensing anything? Would you?
Yeah, I'm sensing just the vibration of deep surrender into joy, into the essence of joy, that there's an initiation around, I just keep seeing you as in just this space of ecstasy.
Yeah.
And you know how to surrender into ecstasy, into really high frequencies and vibrations.
Beautiful. Thank you. My angel, thank you for being here with us tonight.
My gratitude and love to both of you. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon.
Yes, you will,
Thank
honey.
you.
Namaste, my love. Namaste. Wow, Alexis. Well,
Okay.
bye, honey. Love starting off in Thailand tonight, huh?
Yes.
Totally fun. And I
Yeah.
always enjoy, we have so many callers from all these beautiful areas around the world. But as he was sharing, I was reminded of you and your Buddhist traditions and all of the things that you have kind of woven together. How did you find your way to, I mean, how did that happen for you? How did you find your way into that discipline and bringing together the things that you do?
So I trained with an amazing teacher, Isa Gucciardi, in Berkeley, and I studied the depth hypnosis model, which weaves hypnotherapy, Buddhist psychology, shamanism, energy medicine, and worked as a practitioner for a really long time. So it was really working with her, and learning about guidance, working with guides really closely, and working with deities very closely, and seeing the connections between guides and deities, and the different frequencies of energy. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, one of the things that I find as we accelerate our own ascension and as we illuminate ourselves, and I want to just, speaking of illumination, I just want to give a shout out over to TFR Live. Hey guys, I know you're getting ready to go into commercial break. And so we're going to wish you well into that commercial break and let you know that we will be back right up there at the half hour, and hope that you come back to join us, because we have so much more to talk about this evening. And we certainly have a lot more callers to go as well. And hey, for all of you that are here with us over at YouTube, Oneness Talk Radio, and all of the other affiliates, we're in bonus time. And so as we head over into our bonus time, Alexis, I really want to talk about what happens. Like, was there a moment when you were aware of, you know what? Now, I know you just talked about your 911 moment. So that when you win, you got your paints, I've got to be this, but what was it like, that moment you hit your groove and you're like, you know what, not only is this what I was born to do, but I wake up every morning grateful I'm doing it. It's really doing, it's serving. I mean, how did that, what was that aha for you? Or when did that happen?
Oh, that happened. So I had that specific moment. I know exactly when it was 2 years ago. I was called into my very big creative work. Like up until that point, I was painting and writing, and I just kept hearing, multimedia, multidimensional work. So I starred in this multimedia performance called The Butterfly People in the Dreaming Tree. And I led 35 artists, and I just would pop out of bed every morning. My husband did it with me. I was like, I've never been this happy in my entire life. This is doing this is incredible. And I was on stage, and I was introverted, I can't believe that this is what I'm being called to do. And I was on stage and I was looking around, and it was truly this moment, Kira, where I was like, I could die right now. I did it. I said yes. And I created the thing that was so scary to create. And here I am, and I did it.
Congratulations. So how did you walk through your fear? Because you said it was really scary. So what got you through your fear? Yeah. How'd you do it?
So it's what I know about creativity and birth, that when we are opening ourselves up as a channel, we're it's kind of like as the channel opens, all the little lower vibrational gremlins that have been living in there, and those little channels, as we're opening up, they're we're going to last ditch effort, freak you out. And I remember I was walking down the street.
True.
Right?
So true. So true.
Yeah. So true. So I was walking down the street, and I was terrified, and I was like, okay, I see what's going on. I'm just birthing something so massive. The terror is trying to meet the power of what's coming through. And as soon as I just knew, I was like, okay, my creativity is bigger than this. I know what's happening. I see your little faces, gremlins, terror gremlins, and I'm just going to walk through it. And it, I did it.
Congratulations. I mean, seriously, I'm just okay, because that's the courage I'm talking about.
Yeah.
When spiritual tenacity is kind of the word that Sri and I put around it, is we have spiritual tenacity, it is that moment. And we all come to those moments, right? You're going to get to that moment where you need to look, whatever that gremlin looks like to you, right? Everyone has a different kind of gremlin, but whatever that gremlin looks like, there comes a moment where it needs to know that you're in charge. And I think that's the moment where we do begin the self-ascension process, where we invite the very nature of our divine presence to step forward and say, hey, you know what? Calm down. I got this. You know, it's not as dramatic as you think. You know, we got things under control. And hey, welcome back TFR Live. We are so glad that you are with us. We've been on bonus time. I am Kira Ra. Welcome to Soul Mirrors. Be Amazed. Part 2. And I am here this evening with my extraordinary co-host, Alexis Cohen. And Alexis, how can people find out more about you? You tell us how they can contact you. And then we're going to jump into some of these callers and talk about some artist ascension.
Awesome. So yeah, you can check me out, alexiscohen.org, or you can hop in Facebook, Alexis Cohen. You can go on my personal page, and Alexis Cohen Art on Instagram.
Fabulous. Oh, and check them all out, guys, really. And, you know, I really want to, I'm looking at the call board here, and there are just so many beautiful people. And so I want to go ahead and just start inviting them into this conversation. So let's go. Okay. We were in Thailand. I think we're going to Pennsylvania. I think. Namaste, Pennsylvania. Hi.
Hello.
Hola, hi, namaste, welcome, hi. Okay, all right, sweetheart, I'll come back again later. All right, we're gonna go somewhere else. And I wanted to say, hi, Pennsylvania, we love you. We did hear you for a minute and we feel your heart. All right, let's go over to, where am I here? I think we've got another unknown. Should we go for it?
Yeah.
Unknown blocked, anonymous caller. Namaste.
Hello.
Namaste. Hi.
Namaste. Thank you for taking my call.
It is our honor. Thank you for calling, sweetheart.
Awesome. I wanted to share, I've gained a deeper insight into the divine masculine and divine feminine, and this beautiful dance between the two energies within all of us and all around us, and through understanding that through the Shiva and Shakti and this whole principle of honoring that. And even, I don't know, I've noticed I've gained a deeper desire to be completely and totally present for the people with whom I'm engaged in a conversation with, and just to be the one to really hold the space for that person and allow her to express herself, in this beautiful form. But nonetheless, I wanted to share that and see if there's anything my higher self or my guides can give me towards guidance in the form of a mini soul reading regarding, career path, or what do I do? What can I do? How can I best serve humanity with these new, revelations that I've really been embodying and integrating more recently. It's so sacred, it's so special, and I really view it as such an honor to be able to be the one to, hold space for the divine feminine to, express herself fully in that safe place. I don't know, that's just something that's been coming through lately, and I wanted to reach out. I'm glad I got through.
Well, your phone line just kind of rang for us. Let me share with you, first of all, my angel, that as you're sharing, I am receiving, so from like the center of my chest up to my throat. So from like almost the top of the third chakra through all of your fourth chakra to your fifth chakra, it's vibrating. And I'm literally holding it stable. And so I want to invite you, if you're watching us, I have my right hand, right kind of like my thumb almost at that U in the throat. And I have the hand there. And then I have my left hand underneath it, elbows out. And what they're saying is that first breathe in a true breath and open to the gift that you are receiving. They're saying that you have this extraordinary energy pulsing in through you. And there's just this vibration adjustment that's happening. And hence your question, what can you do with this? Well, the first thing is it needs to just anchor as being who you really are all the time without any doubt. I mean, oh my God, Angel, what a blessing. And then the second thing they're saying is that as you release your arms and open your heart, you will discover that you are a healer and you are a profound healer, but you are also a minister. And it's interesting, minister healers can be teachers, can be healers, can be many different things. So the key is they're saying then to take, so first we had these two hands, this way. First we had these two hands, and then bring them both to your third chakra. And they're saying, breathe deep into your third chakra, belly, 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 push out the belly, push out the belly, push out the belly, relax, and then find the joy from the passion of the ascended presence that is empowering you into motion now. And you will manifest that ability into that which brings you the greatest resonance and service. You have an extraordinary journey ahead. It's like your life is just beginning. And I'm still vibrating. I really am. Alexis, is there anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, no, that is so beautiful. The gift being activated, and this is a new way of opening up to it. So it's like taking it step by step, really following your intuition day by day and enjoying the ride, enjoying the process of what unfolds daily.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. Angel, thank you for the blessing of your presence.
Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you so much for your energy and that beautiful exchange. I'm totally feeling that vibration just ring through me right now. It's fine. Thank you so much.
We love you, Angel. Namaste. Thank you, honey. Whoo, Alexis, how about you? You're feeling that, right?
So
Throat chakra. I need water. Excuse me. I'm really feeling it. Wow.
Wow. What a gift to witness someone in the moment of their gift being activated, receiving their gift, right?
Could anything be more beautiful? You know,
No,
this
it's the best.
It's why the title of the show had to be Amazed, because there is not a week that I am personally without amazement at this community and at the conversations and the support and the recognition, because this is, I was giggling again about your timing and the co-creative illumination, because we're coming out of the November period of respect. And now we're going into this remembrance moment. And in this remembrance moment, which is going to carry us through the next big section of November, we have this full moon mastery claiming. And then we have this wonderful experience to really call forward our mastery. So I need to ask, what inspired the Artist Ascension Mastery class? Because it was obviously inspired. It was obviously channeled. Your timing is just too perfect. So how did it come to be? I'm really curious.
Yeah, it was truly channeled. It's working.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah. No, I can tell. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was, I've been a shamanic practitioner for a really long time, and I
over
just
15 years. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I've started to work with Ascension guides the last few years, and it's time, it's like what you're talking about, the bravery of coming out of the spiritual closet more and more. And I'm really on a mission to support artists and healers to be brave and really come out and claim their work. And I work with a lot of people who are like, wait, am I a healer or an artist? And it's like, actually, it's the same thing. And so it's like how to create these new forms that are vehicles for this transformative energy on the planet. And 2020 is a big year, and I wanted to do it before we enter into 2020.
That actually made my heart flutter, because like I said, your timing. So tell us about the Artist Ascension Masterclass and how can people find out what is it? Because they really need to know about it.
Okay, great. So Artist Ascension Masterclass, it is a collection of incredible interviews and creative practices from over 30 artists, healers, teachers, that these creative practices accelerate healing, amplify your light, and activate transformation all around the world. And this is a completely free masterclass. And we launched December 2nd. And when you sign up, you get 2 of these amazing interviews and practices daily for a little over 2 weeks.
crazy amazing. I mean, just really incredible. So how do they register? How can people find out about this?
So all of the registration is actually going to go out. Our promo period starts November 18th, and Carrie, you're going to have that information at that time. So it's a link, and that will be one of your newsletters. So if you guys are interested, please pay attention, because it's going to come in a newsletter, and you click on the link, you fill in your name and email address, and then you will have access to the series that launches December 2nd.
Wonderful. And so for those of you that are watching us in the archives and it's after that time, please go ahead and click on the link. It'll be in this description. And for those of you that might be catching it early, get on our mailing list. Just go to shrinkara.com and click get on the email list, and or get our app, because we'll be making an announcement in the app as well. So get our app, just download the app, Mastery Mentorship with Sri and Kara, all devices, all platforms, Apple, Android, whatever, tablet, phone, and let's enjoy all of this together. So Alexis, should we run over to the phones again?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. We have so many people. And so, all right, where are we going now? Okay. I'm looking at New York showed up. All right. Hey, New York, namaste.
Oh, you caught me off guard. I literally felt a flutter. I felt a flutter when I got unmuted. I was like, wait, is this me?
It's you. Hi, Angel.
How's it going? I'm so grateful to be here.
We're grateful you're here.
So I want to start off by saying that, I've been through I've been yo-yoing in life. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. And in the past year, I feel like I've had this awakening last year, and now I'm still trying to understand myself better, but I'm having a hard time, discerning, I don't know if I'm going crazy or what the voice in my head is. It's I know I'm on this side, I'm on the other side, that's for sure, but I'm not able to discern. So
I understand.
I was wondering if you could maybe help me clarify where I am at.
I'm honored. I'm honored. Take a breath. I'm jumping in because I feel you, and I'm also holding your heart right now and your third chakra. And so what's happening, my angel, I call this the borderlands of sanity. And in many ways, see it as reassurance. When we're still questioning our sanity is how we know we're sane. And so that's the blessing. And then we come to a moment where the questioning dissolves because the trust takes over from the fear and the doubt. And so you are on the journey and you are doing beautifully. And that's why, I giggled when you said we caught you by surprise. Sometimes the universe takes us by surprise, and they will always keep us on a need to know basis. And so the blessing of this communication right now, my angel, is that as I connect with your higher self and presence, you have this extraordinary group around you. However, there is this energy hanging out in your third chakra that's old and habitual and likes hanging out there. And it's tugging your heart. It's like your third and your fourth chakra. Think about it. This is our balance, right? This is the center of the body. This is our tipping point, our balance point. And so the gift that this group is offering you right now is I'm watching them all put this beautiful energy around your third chakra. And I'm hearing these very high pitched tones and this beautiful, beautiful feminine voice in this kind of like a lavender robe with I can't quite see a face. It's more like this emanation of energy, very, very soft voice, very beautiful, saying to you, my love, remember, if it only brings peace, love, or joy, it is of the highest. And when you are feeling less than that, remember that we are right here. And so it is.
That's amazing, because I also had a dream, and I had this really strange dream. I was doing some sort of alchemy. I was doing I couldn't put words in it. But right after that thing, I saw my grandmother, and she's still alive, but I saw my grandmother in a purple robe, and here you're saying lavender robe, and here you're speaking of that. I don't know how to connect it. like, I'm not able to connect the dots.
Let go of the brain. I'm jumping in. You've got to let go of the brain, sweetheart. That's why you called in on this show tonight. That's why you got through tonight, because we're sitting here talking about our creativity, right? You've got to let go of your brain. And I know how scary that feels. Trust your heart. Trust the synchronicities. Alexis, you want to jump in? Anything you want to share with our beloved one here?
Well, it's similar to what we were talking about before, that you're being called for to open up as a channel. So some of that old kind of recent gunk or like that old fear, it's like it's coming up, and to just trust the process and to keep surrendering to the light, keep following the light.
Yeah. So we're so glad you got through tonight. Trust that this was not an accident. Yeah. We love you, honey. Namaste. Bye, angel.
Bye.
Namaste. Bye. You know, okay, we've got to talk about it, Alexis. A lot of third chakra going on tonight, right?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about, you know, creativity, right? Our creativity center is all of the lower chakras as far as the densified body, especially the sacral, the second chakra, and then when that third chakra. And so I'm not surprised that as we're talking about illuminating, as we're talking about doing all of this, that we have this third chakra. Have you been noticing this? A lot of people working and wrestling with that right now?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think there is something around the seasons too. Like if we're going deeper into our, you know, our roots, essentially, it's like it's like bringing, if our work here is to anchor the light is illuminating where we need some clearing so it can come through and anchor to the earth and really assist Gaia, right? So that's what I'm noticing a lot.
Yeah, no, I mean, and I think this is part of the intensity that a lot of people are feeling, because you mentioned something earlier, and I put it in our newsletter too, is that, you know, we all have this moment where we kind of wonder, am I on track? Am I doing this right? You know, why am I winding back here again? And I think the blessing of this moment, especially as the world of density is almost seeming to want to reverse a clock, right? So I think the blessing that's happening for all of us that are awake to the process is that we have the opportunity to see the illusion that time is. And we have the opportunity to work outside of time. And that when we can give ourselves that gift, this is where this divine creative moment is coming in. And I love the way you just described it. And then that light, that beautiful infusion can move and heal these areas, because the bodies of form in 2020, it's a big healing year, huge healing year. It's going to be all about healing energy and people healing themselves and recognizing that. And again, I think this is why the master inside sees the unification of the body, mind, spirit, and that the creative process is one way to easily unify that.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I literally, as you were saying that, I just wrote down healing art because it's such a massive tool, creativity, creative flow, creative energy to heal ourselves.
Exactly. Oh, it's huge. It's huge. And speaking of healing, we have this amazing community. Should we say hi to somebody else?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Okay, so many places. I'm like, okay, who's illuminating right now? We're illuminating. All right, it looks like we are going to, is it Cleveland? Okay, hey, Cleveland, namaste.
Hello?
Hi, hey.
Hi, Kira. It's nice to meet you, Alexis.
Hi.
Oh, hey, it's Monica. Hi, Monica. All I saw was Cleveland. Hey, welcome, sweetheart. Namaste.
Thank you, Kira. Namaste. I think the work you're both doing is wonderful, helping artists become more authentic and people in general become more authentic and having a voice. So this is beautiful. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you for receiving.
Oh, yes, I'm feeling inspired again. And Kira, I wonder if you would be willing to do a little mini soul reading for me today.
Well, you know I am, sweetheart. And I think it's fascinating that you're asking today. And you know, Alexis and I were just talking about it as you've been listening to the show. I'm connecting with you right at my third chakra, Monica. Only in your case, I mean, seriously, but what I'm seeing is it's very, like, I wish I could stand up and show it to you. It's like I'm feeling this surfacey third chakra that's almost saying like, it reminds me, they're showing me, remember that child's book, The Little Train That Could? It's like I'm getting, I think I can, I think I can, I know I can, I know I can. And they're saying, keep going, don't stop. You're almost at the top of the mountain. And that's how they want me to share it with you, sweetheart. But it's right here. And I kid you not, I have my hand and I'm like, I know I can, I know I can. And so it's just like, it's just this really unified energy. And Alexis, are you sensing anything else?
Just, just acknowledging how much love and joy that you have, and that gets to be your fuel for you to go up the mountain for sure.
I love that fuel.
Well, I love you both. Thank you so much, Akira. That is precious to me. Yes, I think I can.
I know you can. Now you got to know it too, babe. All right. Namaste, sweetheart. We love you, honey. Bye. All right. Namaste. Alexis, I think we can squeeze in one more. You want to do that?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to squeeze in one more caller. Where are we going? Hey, we're going to, it looks like, where is this? New Jersey, I think. Namaste, New Jersey.
Oh, thank you so much.
Hi. Namaste.
Namaste to you both. It's so wonderful to be in your presence and to feel your loving energy.
Thank you. Thank you, sweetheart.
And I know I'm going to make a shift in my body and feeling I'm actually able to heal some of these energies, which is interesting. It's profound what I'm going through, and I'm grateful to be connecting with all this new energy coming into. Is there many soul reading can give me?
Oh, Angel, thank you for asking. And I really, I love that you're our final caller tonight, because with you, it's all about receiving light. And I'm feeling this, it's almost like there's like a, it's not scary. It's almost like it's this beautiful self-infused. It's like you're grabbing this pillar of light and saying, I am here, I am ready, I am open, guide me. And they're saying that it's like go, lay in the grass and make a grass angel, right? If you live where there's snow, make a snow angel, and just look at the clouds and say yes. And they're saying that is all you need. And that the deeper you go with that, the faster, the easier, and the clearer. There's also a great clearing energy that's coming in around you through this. And so breath it out. And Alexis, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, that the reorganizing, so the healing, the reorganizing, just I was seeing that too. So you can receive the higher frequencies of light. Yeah, that's so beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, Angel, we are so grateful to be in your presence.
And I'm so grateful for your wonderful message, because I'm sensing this, but now I can affirm it.
Yes, then please do often. And Alexis and I are affirming it with you in this moment. And so it is.
So it is.
Namaste. Thank you, my angel. We're so grateful you called in this evening. Thank you, my love. Sincerely. So Alexis, as we, we have like 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
And so it's crazy how fast it goes. So if you were to share with anyone a way that they could activate their creative nature and illuminate their ascended process, and also how to get in touch with you, what would you share?
Yeah. Oh, so I think it's surrendering to the light, and it's really being brave. So it's listening to whatever that internal nudge is, like whether it's like, oh, I want to paint, I want to sing, whatever is like calling you to say yes. And when you say yes, yes is the great activator. And when you say yes and step in, that is when miracles happen, when you just happen upon a class or the right person to talk to. Please reach out to me. alexiscohen.org is my website. I also have another fun little thing that's coming out next week. It's called Activate Your Wealth Through Art. And it's a fun training where we work with spirit guides and you learn how to channel light codes to activate your wealth frequencies. And it's super fun. And I can give Kara that link as well.
How fun is that? Well, Alexis, thank you. Thank you with
Thank
all
you.
my heart for being with us this evening. I am just so grateful. And to all of you that have been with us this evening, make sure you check it out. Let me give that to you again. It is just alexiscohen.org. And if I'm remembering that correctly, and I am, yes. And also, of course, you can go to Facebook, Alexis Cohen, Instagram, Alexis Cohen Art, and beautiful, beloved angels, as we all head toward this full moon that is just 5 days away. Remember that 5 is a mastery number, right? When we stand with our arms straight out, we become eternal life. And so in the energy of this beautiful illumination of the 5 days to claiming your mastery, may you take the journey of the next 5 days and breathe in the gift of you. Focus on that which you are ready to say yes to. Say yes to your life. Let the miracle unfold. We are all being gifted with a rare opportunity coming up November 12th. And the key is to disengage from that which would seek to stop you from saying yes to the miracle that is before you right now. And I just want to share with all of you, try to make a note and share with Shri and I again this weekend. Explore the mysteries right here at TFR Live and at Oneness Talk Radio, YouTube, and all other affiliates, Saturday at 1 p.m. Pacific time. We're going to be talking a lot more about the Great Remembering, which is the center of November, tied in with this November full moon. And of course, on Sunday, Shri and Kara Live, the voice of passionate action. Alexis, thank you. My heart is so grateful. Thank you. You are an amazing co-host, and I hope to have you back sometime whenever your heart wants to join us again. And for all of you, go to shrinkara.com, get on our newsletter list. You're going to want to know about the Artist Ascension Masterclass with Alexis. Really a beautiful gift for yourself and for everyone you know coming up in early December. Alexis, thank you for this blessing. Thank you to all of you from my heart to yours. Namaste. Much love, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.